What's up, everybody? This is Zack, aka Zachy, creator of Jet Lag Radio, many more podcasts on the website. Zack.coffee, that's ZSCK.CFFE. Let's go ahead and drink some coffee or tea if you prefer, or if milk you prefer, whatever. Obviously, I already had my coffee earlier and would prefer some more coffee now, but I think I'll stick with a little bit of tea and a little bit in the milk as well. But anyway, this we're rewinding time, and we're going back from Thursday, May 22 to Monday, which was May 19th, and we need to do a special content curation for that day and make that special vlog for that day very important. So let's go ahead and go through all the stories and just a brief commentary for each, and then it'll be up to you guys to go through that specific report post and just go in there and click on all the articles and read the content. I apologize that I'm wearing my hat while I'm wearing my AFA shirt. It's not really appropriate to wear a hat and an AFA shirt, the Air and Space Force Association. But my hair is a mess and I need a haircut. I really need a haircut really bad. And just I'm going to have to, as soon as I get like 30, $40, I will go to, I like this place. It's called Sports Clips or something like that. It's like they do your hair and then they put like a hot towel, as if you were about to shave, but you're not shaving, and then they massage the side of your head while they shampoo, and it really feels good for a while because, as you know, we're all stressed with all kinds of stuff. So they call it the MVP at their haircut salon. It's like the total is like $30 or $40. It's pretty not too bad. Someone is reminding me that they're having broken clocks at schools because they're not showing the clocks because school students forgot how to read time. So let's go ahead and start the clock and start reading with these content curation for Monday. Let me bring up my MacBook Pro a little bit closer and let's get into it. Okay, so first story, we have Introduction How to Stop the Next Pandemic. This is from the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. Very important, very important. As you know, we had the quademic, which was very dangerous, a combination of COVID-19, for the flu, RSV, and that norovirus, which was really dangerous. So now everyone is worried about the next pandemic, which would be kind of a pandemic of being too something about immunity of it would be some kind of virus that could penetrate people that they even have strong immunity in their health, because it would be just a very, very, oh, here we go, it's called some kind of a antibiotic resistant superbug, and that would be very dangerous, and we would need a new vaccine for that and all this and that. So we have to prepare. Everything else that's going on in the world, we have to prepare for this. This is what's more important. Not all the wars that are around the world; those needs to end, and we need to focus on this next pandemic. Up next, we have an article from chess.com. I know chess.com is very important because it's a good thing to always remember every night, especially people who work on NORAD, as they, as you know, around all around winter, December, we have NORAD track Santa and all sorts of fun stuff. But for the rest of the year, those guys are tired. They work around the clock, especially near the clock to midnight, and they want to make sure nothing bad goes between East and West and all this and that. So, we just want them to just have a friendly competition with other nations through the game of chess. Chess is a wonderful game to play. And for friends in China, they like to play Chinese chess Go. It's a very complicated game. You move in threes, and it's very hard game. Um, the best player in the world lost to the computer by Google AlphaGo, and to this day, there are people who are currently spending their whole life preparing to play against AlphaGo and see if they can beat him. It's going to be very hard. Up next, article by The Economist: Joe Biden did not decline a loan. So this is a very peculiar article by The Economist. I didn't get to read it in its entirety because I don't have my The Economist subscription anymore, and I really need one. Please, if you have The Economist, gift me a subscription. It really would mean a lot. So, yeah, he talks about how he would eat dinner super early at like 4 p.m. and be home by like 5:15, and he was just tired and very sleepy and all this and that. But he was a morning person. He was a morning person, and you know, you need someone to run the ship during daylight. During the day, there's someone that needs to run the ship, and he was running the ship during daylight. Now, for the nighttime, there's obviously a night person. The reason why they don't divulge that information is because it's classified and all this and that. But as someone who runs the show during the daytime, someone who runs the show during the nighttime. And it's just how it's been for so many years, just because it's a very tumultuous job. And that's why we have the combination of a um, president and vice president. Now, it's true that the vice president might not work every night, or the president might not work every day, but they have some kind of, you know, synergy where they figure out a system where whichever one works best during the day, whichever one works best during the night. It's just how it is. Um, Up next, article by 1843 magazine, which is Economist as well. The rise, fall, and contestant future of Hezbollah. So be sure to check out that article. Up next, bonus your questions answered. This is by the Economist podcast. Be sure to check out that podcast. Up next is an article by the EIU about the ties between Gulf investors and Southeast Asia's EV industry. So be sure to check that out. Very important. All right. Up next, Harvard Business Review have an article about the power of mattering at work. It's important to matter at work. It really is. If sometimes you feel like you're not important, or it just means meaningless. So it's important to feel mattering at work. But obviously, in my case, it's also important to have a paycheck at work. I have to find a way to get a paycheck. Anyway, as you know, being a volunteer is fun in your 20s, but being a volunteer in the early 40s is uncalled for and definitely terrible. Up next, Israel lets aid into Gaza after 11 weeks blockade, but UN calls it a drop in the ocean. This is by the BBC. This was very sad. They only let a few trucks in with aid of food and all this humanitarian aid into Gaza, but they didn't let any of the other trucks. So it's really frustrating, and we need to find a way to force Israel to let those trucks in. People are dying. Kids are dying. I saw something on Instagram the other day, and it was from a legit source. It was from the United Nations that 14,000 infants in Gaza would die within the next 24 hours if those food aid trucks and baby food and all this and that would get into the Gaza Strip. Very disturbing, very scary, and because of the disturbing trend and disturbing things that are happening in Gaza, I wanted to use the metaphor of, Death Stranding, and that's why I can't wait for next month to play Death Stranding 2, because, as it feels sometimes, I might be the only one to stop the bad boss here, just like the bad boss in Death Stranding world is the Higgs. Well, in this case, the bad boss here is Netanyahu. Netanyahu seems to have full control There's the whole goddamn world against him, and he's somehow still standing. And he never got a punch in the face. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. He's like some kind of really weird Agent Smith. It's really bad because, you know, people are dying in Gaza, and all of the hospitals are gone, all the schools are gone, all the mosques are gone. So who knows how, last time around there was the coronavirus. Who knows what kind of madness God or whatever will bring over. So it's a very scary time. Even the Pope right now, just please help the people of Gaza. Um, Next article is from Bloomberg, and it's very scary. It says it's legal to pay U.S. workers with disabilities as little as 25 cents an hour. So when I read that article, like my head almost like exploded from reading this, just because it's really essentially what was happening here. Like I haven't got paid in 7 years, and they're saying in this article that it's illegal to pay them as little as 25 cents an hour. It's really bad, really, really bad. Up next, Trump says Russia, Ukraine agree to immediate ceasefire talks. Kremlin offer no time frame. This is by Reuters. Check out the article. Up next, Israel pounds Gaza, killing 43. Canada, France, UK threatened sanctions. This is by Al Jazeera News. Up next, Afghanistan International has an article saying that EU humanitarian forums on Gaza on Afghanistan opens in Brussels as migrant crisis grows. Now, if you haven't heard from the news, a lot of Afghan migrants in Pakistan have been sent back to Afghanistan, so it's been very, very sad. Up next, James Comey said he wasn't aware of the violent overtone of his social media posts. This is by Politico. Okay, this is James Comey. This is one first of many. He's the one who screwed up the election for Hillary Clinton by saying some stupid stuff about her emails at the very last minute of the election. And then he started to do, hey, I got a book coming out. And then now everyone in the political sphere have a book come out. And then even our favorite Rachel Maddow had like a book come out. And then she had like 6 books coming out. Now, goddamn it, is the point of the story to get these books to come out, or is it to stop this nonsense of the Trump charade? It was really frustrating, very, very frustrating, embarrassing, and you should be embarrassed of yourself. I'm sorry, Rachel Maddow, but you should be embarrassed by publishing not just one book, but 2 books, with 3 books. You don't need to stroke for a couple of books to show us how evil Trump is, okay? You just need to sell one book with full pizzazz and explain how difficult the situation is. Just like every Bob Woodward book that comes out is a strong book. When Bob Woodward makes a book, we read it, left to right. We devour it. That's what I want to read. I don't want to read like 10 books from you, which obviously, I'm sorry, Rachel Maddow, but you're not Tom Clancy. You're not going to be, you're just you're a journalist. So please focus on one book, strong book, and your book should be to prepare the Democrats for the midterms in 2026. And how to make sure we get back around for 2028. All right, up next, Google I/O 2025. How to watch and what to expect. Google Developer Conference keynote will be all about AI and XR. XR, is that what this special kind of new augmented reality? Let's see. XR might be augmented reality on your device, on your screen. Very cool. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Up next, we have an article by Vox. 350,000 people are losing protection from deportation. The Supreme Court sided with Trump at the expense of Venezuelan immigrants. It's very, very Sad, very sad, and we hope that they get help soon. Up next, Blue Sky takes on Sports Twitter with NBA playoff feature. That's by TechCrunch. Very nice, very nice. Up next, from MIT Technology Review, inside the story that enraged OpenAI. Up next, 6 symptoms of prostate cancer that are easy to miss as Joe Biden is diagnosed with an aggressive type. Business Insider. Up next, Choisir la France. Une minute pour marquer les esprits à la française. Just very important spiel from France to saying that if you want to make stuff happen, go to France. And I just might. If I don't get these disability checks anytime soon, I may have to go back to France. It's been very, very tough here. 7 years without a paycheck. All right, up next, Netanyahu vows to take control of Gaza as UK, France, and Canada threatens action against Israel. This is from The Guardian, a similar article. Up next, a scientist fighting nuclear Armageddon hid as 50-year secret. This is Richard Garwin's role in designing the hydrogen bomb was obscure from the public, even his family, as he devoted his life to undoing the danger he created. So this is a great long read from the New York Times. Be sure to check out the article. The Supreme Court has officially had enough of Donald Trump's excuses. This is by Huffington Post. Sorry, guys, I was up all night and had trouble sleeping because it was my birthday yesterday, and the lack of postcards was very sad. I was hoping for some letters for some fans of Jet Radio. All right. Up next, nobody in Ukraine thinks the war will end soon. This is from the Atlantic. Up next, Trump says ceasefire talks between just Russia and Ukraine to start immediately. It's 5:38. This is a disturbing story from the Washington Post. Brain dead pregnant woman case spurs question about medical consent. This is Washington Post. Up next, Festival de Cannes 2025. Denzel Washington reçoit une palme d'or d'honneur surprise pour l'ensemble de sa carrière. This is by Le Monde. Equalizer 4 and 5 are on their way to be announced. It's going to be amazing. Good job for Denzel Washington. Up next, what is agentic AI and why is everyone talking about it? This is from Mashable. Up next, the art of the MDMA pill to artists Adam Bierman and Peter Andrew Lutz. They're on just a good night out. There are cultural artifacts. So this is a not safe for work article for some of you guys who are into that stuff. This is not my cup of tea. Yeah, even though I listen to electronic, I really could care less for the MDMA pill. I do want it to be illegal eventually for you guys, but we'll get to that eventually. Hopefully it'll be illegal in Holland first for 21 and up, and then hopefully it'll be illegal in Europe, and then hopefully it'll be illegal in America. Up next, students and teachers in Gaza. Education itself is a form of defiance. Israel has destroyed every university and 85% of school in Gaza. 4 young women talk about how they keep studying amid the violence. This is by The Intercept. Okay. Prostate problems are incredibly common. Here's why and how to treat them. It's from Nat Geo. As you can see, Biden has a problem with his prostate. He's got prostate cancer. So be sure, just like hopefully you did on your last yearly physical at your doctor, check for prostate cancer. You have to make sure to check for prostate cancer next yearly visit. Up next, millions prepare for severe storms in the Midwest and South. This is by NPR. Up next, some city council members are rejecting a pay raise amid city budget crisis. This is by Caprier News. Mai 2025 en perspective. This is by Le Monde Diplomatique. Russia has started losing the war in Ukraine. The military tide may have turned against Putin. This is by Foreign Policy. Up next, the risk of war in the Taiwan Strait is high and getting higher. Beijing's worst worry about the future could spur a deadly miscalculation soon. Foreign Affairs. Very important article to read here. The South Korea-U.S. alliance is due for an overhaul at a time of growing U.S.-China competition. The purpose of the alliance is once again becoming a subject of debate. The diploma. How the U.S. is tapping a much bigger well in the Middle East and why Beijing isn't happy about it. This is by the Cipher Brief. Up next, Cœur Noir va rétro Pyongyang et d'autres choses. Diplomatie arctique. Ça, c'est un article de Intelligence Online French, so be sure to check that out. Turbocharged Mitochondria Powerbirds Epic Migratory Journeys by Quantum Magazine. Up next, l'IA fait apparaître les charmes du boson de Higgs. En savoir plus, CERN, en français. Up next, NASA French SWOT SWOT satellites offers big view of small oceans features. This is by NASA. Next, we have a reminder that there are petitions around the globe asking Interpol offices around the planet to file Interpol red notice on Netanyahu. Netanyahu almost went to prison for corruption by Interpol many years ago. In hindsight, Interpol was right. Fortunately, now over 60,000 Palestinians have died in this genocide, so it's up to Interpol to do what is right. Place in custody the most atrocious butcher and human rights violation person in the world since Nazism, which is Netanyahu. Up next, Boeing resumes KC-46 deliveries after workload fixed cracks. This is by Air and Space Force magazine. Be sure to check that out. Next, we have an article from Airman magazine, Future Airlift's Tactical Partnerships. Up next, the article from Super Street on Motor Trend is the 2025 Lexus IS 500 Ultimate Edition. First look, it's the last of the V8, but it's not a sport version. So, as you know, they have the ISF, but this one is just a V8, but kind of a 472 horsepower, so pretty powerful. And yeah, so then here I talk about how it's Monday and my birthday is gonna be later this week on Wednesday, and I had to cancel on Justice the concert because I couldn't afford to because of the gas money and stuff. And yeah, but also watched the highlights on the Manchester United game, which they lost terrible against the Spurs, which they were undefeated throughout the whole competition. Then they lost the battle against the Spurs, and I immediately made the comment that it seems that the Spurs. It seems that Manchester United needs some help from an Asian player, just like the Spurs had help from an Asian player. I'm sure that on the phone, Jason Park is like lecturing the hell out of them and say buy an Asian player as soon as possible. Seriously, but now it's terrible. We're gonna have no Champions League next year, no Europa League. We're gonna have to have a rebuilding year. So I hope Mourinho comes back to United because obviously Zidane is probably gonna go to France to prepare for the World Cup. So let's hope that yeah. And then yeah, I started to play GDM, the game. It's um, it's like it's kind of like Initial D or MF Ghost, but for the PC on Steam, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So be sure to check it out. A big shout out to my brother who donated me a little bit on Steam gift card so I could get that. Um, okay, so that's the content curation for Monday. So now we'll cut the video here, and I'll record a video for Tuesday. Hopefully, probably we'll record something in French just to give a little bit more pizzazz and more gravitas as I delve into foreign affairs and international studies. But I'll still mention this in English as well. I'm very happy for the number of State Department officials that are standing up against the atrocities of the Israel administration, and it's nice to see that right now everyone is on the same page. Over 200 nations, over 200 nations at the United Nations, all of police forces at Interpol, all the uh, even like mafias from Italian mafia to worldwide mafias, the triads from the China, yakuzas from Japan, just like everybody from any walks of life are against Netanyahu. It's like everyone's on one side, on the other side is Netanyahu. So Netanyahu has to stop, and we basically, even we make analogies to metaphors to Dragon Ball Z for the children to explain to what kind of monster we're dealing with, and Netanyahu has to stop. He really has. He completely raised Gaza, and it's completely gone. All the photos, like I said, you see the photos, it's completely razored, gone. There's no more hospitals, no more, mosque, no more schools. Everything is gone. It's pretty scary. Anyway, um, like I said, I have to prepare my spiel for my French video, and maybe I'll watch a little bit of Tool Time, Home Improvement beforehand, just to take a small break. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe to YouTube channel. As always, guys, it's Memorial Day weekend this weekend, so please check in on your loved ones, especially if they are military veterans. It's a very tough time of the year for them, so please just to be there for them, for mental health and all this and that. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to YouTube channel. It really means a lot. And yeah, no, I did not get a new car for my birthday yesterday. So we'll see if there's any surprise later this weekend. But so far, no new car, and really disappointed. But yeah, now that Pat CEO is fired, maybe he'll be in jail or something. But I'm still waiting for my paychecks, and I'll find a way to get my paychecks, and we'll see what happens. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye. Peace.